I chose two FOS Scale Model structure kits for this area right behind me that's only about 3.5 inches wide. I have a siding right here. Here's Burdick freight dock, and here's Canal Street freight dock, both FOS Scale Model structure kits. They look pretty simple, but other than the building parts right here, the rest of it is all stick built. So let me show you how I did that in the following clips right here. Let's take a look at a few more of the finished buildings. I staged them up on the layout just to see what they would look like, and then I decided to add a little bit of elevation with some Sculptamold to fill in the areas so it wouldn't look so flat. I still have to add some texture to the landscape and add a lot of detail to the area to make this scene come alive. But let's get to the beginning of how I put this thing together. These are 2x10s, 2x6, 2x4, 1/16 of an inch, 3/32, and 1/8 of an inch. So that's what we got left. So 2x10, 2x6, 2x4, 1/16 of an inch, and 3/32. So 2x4s are up there, 1/16 of an inch is that stuff there. We got 2x6, that's the cross things on the, that's it, rafters. 3/32 is the upright on the deck. The Burdick freight dock has 5 panels and an assembly jig for the base of the loading dock. There are templates to follow for cutting all the small pieces for the structure. There's 2 supports for the roof, which one is longer than the other, which makes it interesting to assemble. I glued 5 of the long timbers to the floorboards before I started to add the support bracing, working on it upside down, as you can see in these photos right here. After the loading dock was finished, I assembled the building parts and then went on to the roof sections. It uses tar paper and cardboard, which is pretty straightforward. I laid out transfer tape on the cardboard and then applied the tar paper to it. I then stained the loading dock with an Indian ink solution and then glued everything together. Luckily, I had an extra stash of 2x10s for scratch building purposes for the ramp. Before adding the signage and the details and weathering the building, I set it off to the side on the layout so I could start on the other building, because it was a lot more stick building than this one was. So, and you'll see what I mean. The Canal Street freight dock has a small shed, a lot smaller than the previous one, but the loading dock seems to be about the same length. I primed and painted all the pieces, and then I proceeded to assemble the shanty. Just 4 walls on the shanty and the corner bracing. Then I stained all the 2x10 timbers with Indian ink solution and spaced out the concrete piers on masking tape above the template provided. I glued the 5 beams to the concrete piers with Aleene's tacky glue. I then cut the 2x10 deck boards with the chopper, 25 of them. There's a template provided for all the dimensional lumber. I spaced them out evenly, 1 by 1, and applied them with Aleene's tacky glue. I had to cut some extra ones because it took 28 instead of 25, like they said in the instructions. I may have spaced them a little bit closer than what they had anticipated. I then applied the 2x10 deck boards, 16 scale foot, and staggering them along the way and shorter ones in between to fill in the spaces. The next step is adding the doors and the windows and the trim, all that little trim, to the shed. This small kit is filled with a lot of detail, as you can see with the rafter tails on the underside of the roof. I added some signage and a smoke jack, and then weathered the shanty, and then glued it onto the loading dock, and also weathered the loading dock, and then finally built the ramp going up to the loading dock. Amazing detail on these two small kits, as you can see here in these photos. I have to find one more small structure kit to complete this scene along the siding. I have a few laser art garage type structures to fill in also. Then I could start with the background buildings along the wall. I'm already working on another kit. This one is Baker's Country Store by Railroad Kits. I'm about halfway through it right now. So if you would like to see more videos on me at the workbench, go on my website and you'll see this. So until the next time, we'll see ya, and have fun with those structure kits.